Hello, tubers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And thank you for coming on and joining Coopersthaiadventure Monday Crypto Talk with Brooke Schneider. Hello, Mr. Brooke Schneider. How you
Hello,
doing, buddy?
Cooper. Been a while.
It has been a while since we sat and did this in the same room.
Yes.
Oh, about a month.
About a month.
About a month to be exact. What the heck is going on in the markets? Bitcoin was hovering around nicely. Saturday night's live stream, I was on here by myself, and it was hovering around 83,000.
Treading water. Yep.
Wake up this morning, 77.
What? Oh, what a big sale we have on.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's well, there's fear gripping the market after Friday's huge worldwide market dumps based obviously on China's response to the tariffs in great part. It's caused what you might say is a bit of panic worldwide. And, the paper hands, when this happens, hey, they sell.
Mhm.
And that's what's happening. Everybody's fearful, so they're selling. Now, I've seen this before. I've seen this many back from 1987 onwards. And you know something?
What?
The market always comes back. So if you're able to, now, if you're on margin, you're probably getting wiped out. So don't use margin. That's my advice. I don't, you don't. The markets will come back. So if anything, and I'll be looking, it's a great buying opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You take a look at all the assets that are on sale, from NVIDIA to Apple, if you're so inclined, Tesla, MicroStrategy, MSTY will probably be down a bit, be a good buying opportunity. I think to me, it's a positive. This is why you want to keep a good slug of cash available for buying these massive dips. And it's trust me, the markets will come back. And I said earlier, and I tend to believe this, if we have a few days of this still, Tom Lee from Fundstrat thinks Wednesday will be the bottom. Now, we need some positive news, as you said.
Yes.
And I wouldn't doubt if this were to continue that you'd have Powell step in and maybe cut interest rates. And that would be yeah. Wow. You get a couple more days like Friday. And because his mandate is full unemployment with low inflation. Well, with these drops, people will pull back from spending because they want to conserve cash. Businesses won't know what the hell to do. So, they're not expanding. And, fear can grip the market. And and I've seen this in the past, when these massive drops in the market, the Fed has tended to step in and cut rates to provide a stimulus to the public, let's say, the fear,
Right.
Get rid of that. So we'll see. But, if things level off, then maybe they won't be looking at the rates. But if they don't, that'll be a way to do it.
And how much would they need to cut rates to do to steady the markets?
Well, a quarter ain't going to do it. If they're gonna jump in, they're gonna do either a 0.5% to 1%. One would that would get things rocking. Now, his philosophy, I think, is he's concerned about inflation more so. Well, you ain't going to have inflation if this continues, because ain't anybody going to buy shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're going to be holding on to their money. They won't have money to buy. So, anyways, time will tell. What's caused it, in my opinion, is the tariffs.
Yeah.
And China's response to that. Now, even over the weekend, Coop, I was following a lot of countries are saying, hey, we're going to go to zero. We'll go to zero with you. We're talking Israel, Vietnam, I think Thailand, you mentioned. There's more than that probably in the works.
Yeah.
And if they go to zero response, then they're hoping the States will do the same, 0 to 0. And in reality, that is free trade.
Exactly.
That's not where these, and I understand Trump's position from the standpoint, hey, the U.S. was getting, kind of a raw deal. Like they weren't charging tariffs on a lot of these countries coming in, or if they were, it was very minor. And some of the countries had 30, 40, 50% tariffs. Like, go and try and buy a John Deere tractor in India. You can't. It's
Yeah.
double the price it would be in the States, you know.
Yeah.
And Jim Cramer had that like analogy, or Europe, I think it was. Sorry, but India's the same because they protect their industry. So, you know, Trump's trying to get rid of these, you know, restrictive tariffs so that the U.S. can ship these goods over. You know, obviously they're bringing a lot of these countries' goods into the U.S. You know, with virtually small or no tariffs at that time. Well, that's going to change. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. And did you do any big stock moves when this was about to happen? This all kicked off Thursday last week.
I bought a little bit on Friday, increased my positions. I'm big enough in MicroStrategy, so that wasn't it. But Tesla had a dip. And again, I'll probably do a little more today if it drops again. So, but yeah, that's now when I say I'm talking maybe 10 shares, you know what I mean? It's not like I don't really want to use margin, although I suppose I could, but you know, if I do margin, it'll be enough, a small amount. So yeah.
Now I did as well Thursday night. I was up late here in Thailand, and I was well up on my Bitcoin bag, but I was too heavy into Bitcoin with Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. The Bitcoin I was with through Fidelity on IBK, and I knew with the tariffs coming in, it was going to hurt the market big time. Everybody knew for weeks in advance it was going to happen. And Bitcoin was spiking up. It was at 87,800. And I said to Darlene, I said, I'm going to wait till it gets to 87,900. And I'm going to sell my Fidelity, which I did.
You sold your Bitcoin.
I sold my Fidelity. I kept my MicroStrategy. I sold my Fidelity and I put it into MSTY.
Into MSTY. Well,
I got MSTY at $20.38.
Well done.
Share.
Well done.
I bought a huge bag of MSTY, which will keep me going for many, many, many months in Thailand while the market is so volatile, to give the governments around the world time to sort out
their thing. Yeah.
And I'm building up my cash bag.
Gotcha.
So while Bitcoin is going down, the whole markets are going down, I'm saving for that perfect buying opportunity. And tonight, I'm expecting Tesla to go down even further.
Yeah.
I'm expecting MicroStrategy to drop even further.
Yep.
NVIDIA to drop even further, maybe even hitting $100 a share on NVIDIA. And
NVIDIA's under that.
It's now under 100. Has it finally gone under 100?
Yeah.
I missed Fridays what it closed at.
Low 90s.
Low 90s.
Yeah, you'll be able to buy low 90s, maybe high 80s today.
Wow. Fantastic buying opportunity.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. So I'm just moving my bags around from where I've got my major profits to where I'm not doing so well to buy more, because I know there's going to be a rebound at some point in the next week or two. If you, like you're saying, Jerome Powell steps in with a emergency rate cut to stop U.S. going into recession, well, hey, perfect timing. Absolute perfect timing. But what's sort of wondering is the market going to go down too much, and that it has a high rebound to the point where it gets overbought and then there's another crash?
Some people think the market was overbought prior to Friday, you know, so they think maybe that's just a corrective move back to, let's say, common sense valuations. But, you know, interesting, time will tell. As getting back to your Bitcoin sale, I don't recommend selling your Bitcoin, but in a reality, Coop, you're kind of
I'll still hold my Bitcoin through MicroStrategy on a leverage.
Well, that plus MSTY is actually based on MicroStrategy.
Correct.
Which is
just
based on Bitcoin.
Between.
So, you know, you're kind of just reallocating within the same field. Let's say. So that's okay. I see that. And, you know, MSTY shares will follow, in my opinion, MicroStrategy as it starts to climb back. What would cause MicroStrategy to climb back? Bitcoin increases. price. And the adoption of Bitcoin is still going on. That's not gonna, whatever this market turmoil is, it's not going to affect the price of Bitcoin. Eventually, it will continue to go.
Yeah.
So that's it's funny. On Friday, although my Tesla bag was down, my MicroStrategy was up. So I came out of Friday kind of broke even.
Yeah.
So today, I think they're both going to be down today, probably around 10% each of them. So it'll be a great buying opportunity, and hopefully I'll be able to step in and get some.
So hopefully Monday in for a bit of a bottom in and started the rebound.
Yeah. Now, whether it will end today, I mean, listen, we could have, by closing, things could rebound, and maybe that was the bottom. But if you can, whatever you get into, don't look at like dollar cost average. That's the way to do it. And don't look to sell. We're not in there to make a short, quick profit. We're into, dollar cost average in at good prices and hold. That's what I'm looking at doing. And eventually, guys, this too shall pass, this turmoil in the markets. Now, I was having coffee on the weekends with, expats and, after the gym, at the gym, talking to people, and, portfolios down 30%. That's a kick in the teeth for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But don't panic. Don't sell. None of these guys I spoke to were selling. If anything, they were a kind of similar view as me. It's time to buy. Jesus, things are on sale. So if you can do that and have that mindset, you're going to come out of this okay. Things will turn around.
Yeah. And if MSTY goes below $20 tonight, I'll definitely be buying some more.
Well, in my opinion, it definitely will. If you can get it 19 on 18, high 18s even, that's a good buy based on what the returns you'll get per month. So now, interestingly enough, the volatility has started to increase. And that's how these yield max ETFs, how they generate their income, is from the options, and the options volatility raises the price of the premiums as the volatility goes up. So if anything, I could see, even at a lower price getting into MSTY, your premiums will start to increase payouts. So, we'll see.
And MSTY announced their dividend payment for this month is 1.38.
Yeah, well, you had told me that. I hadn't done a lot of research on that, but around
I think
similar
it was
to last month, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit up on last month,
which is still fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic per share. Okay, let's get the show started. See who we got online.
Tony Montana, good morning, Cooper, Darlene, Brooke, and Jackie, and all the gang. I hope you and Darlene are feeling better.
I am. Darlene's feeling much better for 4 days in the hospital. She had to eat only soup to give her stomach a break. And last night we went to Boathouse on Jomtien Beach Road, and she ordered a fish, sea bass, and normally she would eat half and get a to-go bag and then eat the other half the next day with some boiled rice. She ate the whole fish.
Whoa, wow.
4 days of eating soup. She was hungry.
No doubt.
And ate the whole fish.
Good appetite.
So, yeah, she's feeling much better.
And
Thank you, Tony.
Now. Yep. Up from Mayo, good evening from the Great White North. Another great opportunity to buy more Bitcoin on the dip today. Hope everyone is doing well.
We are, Romeo, and looking forward to you coming back out here. And any more update? When's he coming back out again? He keeps saying he's going to Taiwan and he's going to take a little hop over here.
Yeah, he's busy boy. He's still working, and he's traveling the world, it seems. But I think later on in the fall, closer to the fall, we'll maybe see his nibs back here. But anyways, it's Sunday night over there. I think he had a nice meal with Mama.
Ah, okay.
Wanderlust Asia. Once we lose 76.6 on the Bitcoin, it will be more pain. So he's Wanderlust figures that'll be a support price at that, and it's not there. It's not there yet. So 77, I think we were at.
Yeah, it was 77. I think 300 a little while ago. Let's just refresh and see where we're at. Right now, we are spiking back up. It's at 78.8 right now. So making a little bit of a rebound and down 5% over the weekend. But everything is down. All the altcoins that I'm currently looking at on the screen, ADA is down 10.9%. AVAX is down 8.5%. Shibu is down as well. Sol is down. XRP is down. Yeah, perfect opportunity.
Yeah, well,
for
the
buying.
alts are they've got kicked in the teeth. So Solana at $100, what? That's a steal.
Yeah,
And those poor boys in XRP, man, they got to be hurt.
yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, they are.
And ETH's down like 1,500. I mean, you should have been out of ETH ages ago. But
yeah, ETH's at what 1,584.28 right now live.
106 on Solana.
At 106.25 on Sol. Yeah.
They're having
down 11.75%.
Yeah. Well, their XRP jumped to 192 from 188 when we checked.
Yeah.
They're bringing out these Solana ETFs, Coop. So once those,
I think they're going to roll in pretty quickly.
I think so, yeah, and might be looking at a bit of that for the bag, just not a heavy concentration, just a bit. But
I think I might split like 5% of the bag between Sol and XRP.
I have no use for XRP. 808 Bear just bought the dip. Life is good. Good morning, everyone. See, these do provide a buying opportunity, on these. That's why you always want to keep, I think Jamie figures 7% of your in cash, of your portfolio, because that'll give you opportunity in days like Friday, days like today, to allocate those funds at a nice low cost, so.
Yeah, I'm now sitting about 10% on cash.
Good for you.
Ready for the buying opportunity. I'm not doing it yet. I'm still expecting more volatility tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
So wait and see what happens. See if there's any announcements coming in from the Fed. If there isn't, great time to keep waiting and get that buying opportunity in.
Yep. Unfortunately, my cash tends to be tied up in investments, so we'll see. Roger Walker, good morning, Darlene, Cooper, and Brooke. Good morning, Roger the Dodger.
Good morning, Roger, and thank you for coming on and joining us.
Daniel Hall, Danny Vega, channel member.
Yes, he is. He has the badge next to his name. Thank you very much, Daniel.
Oh, cool. This is the first time I'm here, actually, and listening.
Well done, Daniel.
Where's he been? He's been on. Oh, maybe not. Scotty Jean from New Zealand. Good afternoon, Three Musketeers from New Zealand. We know that, Scotty.
Where's the third?
Darlena.
Yeah, Darlene in the bedroom. Channel moderator, yes.
Jackie's over in the Philippines, so that's where she is. She'll be back on the weekend. Scotty Richmond, good morning, CBD, on everyone and everyone else watching. Scotty,
good morning to you, Scotty. And
California,
we'll actually be on the same flight as Jackie coming back.
Correct.
Because we're flying out Sunday morning to the Philippines, pick up the kids, bring them back for a vacation in Thailand. And we'll be on the same flight as Jackie.
I wonder if the girls had that all figured out.
I don't know. I bet they did. And they didn't tell us.
No, they sure didn't. Terry Fallon, hello, CBD. Great to see you guys. Coop, hope you're feeling better.
I am a little bit stuffy, but other than that, I'm okay. So the coughing is sort of stopped, the runny nose is stopped, and yeah, the hot and cold sweats are sort of stopped. Had a bit of the man flu. But thank you, Terry, and thank you for being a channel member. Much appreciated.
Dave Stewart, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Dave.
Chris Wheeler from Texas. Good morning, guys. I'm back on Tide Time in Cha-am.
Cha-am.
He's back.
Welcome back, Chris, and thank you as well for being a channel member. Much appreciated.
808 Bear, do not play the margins. The whales will wipe you out always. That's
a risky play.
Well, this Bitcoin price, you see, is manipulated by the big boys. They have charts that they can see how much people are long and what the wipeout price is, so they'll short it. And then they'll see the opposite. They'll see how many people are shorting, figure it's going to keep going, and they'll start putting the big buys in to raise it. And they just wipe out the longs and the shorts. So that's what happens when you do with margin. Be careful, guys.
And thank you, Bear, for being a channel member.
Daniel Hall, Danny Vega. Hello, CBD. I'm liking the dip.
I am too. I am too. I timed it right on Thursday night. Bitcoin did, however, go to 88,300. I got out at 87,900. So not too far from the top.
That's no.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk any further than that. It felt like there was a bit of a wall there at 88. So I was like, okay, 87.9. I think I'll safe in putting a sell order. And then it went through and I went straight on to Misty. Misty was tanking. I was like, yes, please. That'll give me a nice monthly dividends check. And I want to DCA more into Misty, get that check even bigger, while Misty takes a further dump, because I think their shares are going to go back up towards the $30 mark. And if I can get it below 20, I'm on for a nice winner.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, Coop. They'll simply take a portion of what they receive each month and put it back into the shares. So
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Mm.
The one thing out there, guys, always check to see what the withholding taxes are. Now, hopefully in your case, U.S. citizens apparently don't pay any withholding because, you know, they expected to file their returns.
We've got to file our annual returns, yes.
Scotty Jean, hi, Chris. What's Cha-Am like to retire to? Where is that Cha-Am?
North.
Up north, okay. 808 Bear, Trump wants Powell to drop rates to refinance the debt America has. Yep. 4D chess being played right now. Well, yeah, we'll see.
Well, with the markets going down and the bonds going down, that makes their refinancing even cheaper for the debt.
Yeah.
That's a given there.
Alcom 6. Hello, guys. Clean Spark took a beating, huh? It's my opinion that we're going into a recession, which will hurt.
Yeah. But no, Cha-Am, thinking about it, it's over by Wahin. So it's over to the west of us. Yeah. On the other side of the water.
I just want to talk about this a bit, Coop, here, this
Sure.
Alcom. So I was heavy into the miners. I do have Clean Spark, still have it. But the miners continually want to issue shares. And that puts a kind of a cap, in my opinion, on how much the price can increase.
Yeah.
Now, you know, now Clean Spark, I mean, let's just say it's the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry basket. Them and Mara are the two I own, and I think those are the two to own. Riot possibly, but you know, why would you? I mean, eventually they'll have their day. When Bitcoin does start to really run, the miners will eventually follow suit. And the miners now, those I mentioned, they're not selling their Bitcoin. So they're building up their bags. So which means, hey, they think that, you know, when the price does rocket, that it's definitely going to have a big influence on their stock price, holding a big bag of Bitcoin. And I think it will. The question is when. And now, those miners I still own, you know, not a big bags of them. I do sell calls to reduce my cost base, you know, and that's maybe the way to keep in there. But, you know, hey, you might just want to flip that into something like MicroStrategy or Tesla, something that you can make a little more premium on, let's say, or, you know, have maybe a little more of a future for pricing appreciation, because miners are tough, man. It's like, as Jamie Invest Answer says, it's a cutthroat business.
It is right now, yeah.
Dave Stewart, stocks on sale if we are not going into recession, else we go lower.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If we hit a recession, yeah, it's going to go lower. But I think that Powell's going to step in before that happens.
I think I think the tariffs will get worked out. I think, you know, as much as Trump says, nope, they're here to stay. Nope, I'm not changing. Nope. Trust me, I believe that there's probably, they said 50 countries now have contacted the states. Yeah. To say, hey, listen, what can we do? Let's all go to zero. You go to zero, I'll go to zero. And that's free trade. That's what it should be. So I personally think that these tariffs will get rectified. Now, it ain't probably going to happen this week. Might be a month or so, but the long term will be better for the U.S., better for the world, better for, you know, if somebody can produce something cheaper, more efficiently, you know, in another country, so be it. Let them do it. You know, we'll do what we do best, and they can do what they do best, and it's good for the world. But that might take time to do that. And as far as recession, I think before that happens, things will get worked out. Yeah. John P. America is holding all the cards. Every other country wants access to our market.
It is the largest market in the world.
That's it.
It is.
That's why everybody is wanting to come to the table, you know. And I mean, hey, listen, I know in Canada, you know, we used to say, geez, if the state sneezes, we catch a cold. Like we were so tied to the US, and we still are, as much as, you know, the guys over there say, no, we're going to be, you know, it ain't going to happen. Like a lot of countries are dependent on the US. So it's kind of a wake up call with Trump doing what he's doing. So, yep. They do want access. Alfa Romeo, gents, I really dislike the color red now.
Yeah.
Well, time to buy more stocks on the huge dips. Your thoughts? Oh, definitely, guys. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah. You know, keep enough to live on. You got to have, you know, you've secured yours with your MSTY payments each month.
Yeah.
I got my premiums from the calls I sell. I'm not looking, I don't really pay attention to the prices of the stock because I'm not looking at selling.
Yeah.
You know, you'll only lose on a stock if you sell. If you're not selling your stock, and meaning, hey, you better be in good ones, you know what I mean, that are going to be here.
Yeah.
Our stocks will be here in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and probably a lot higher. So, yeah, but if you're not, you know, keep enough to live on, and then the rest, this is the time to buy. You know, put it into the stocks that you like. They're all on sale, is my point.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, in crashes like this, call it a crash. I mean, you know, you're down this 2,000 points on the Dow on Friday, probably that much again today. The good stocks go down with the bad.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like a brush. Everything's painted. Didn't work. It doesn't matter how good your stock is. You're still getting tarred and feathered with the same brush.
Even the Mag 7's down 10%.
Yeah. So find the good ones. Find the ones that you have a lot of confidence in. I know Jamie bought a nice bag of NVIDIA on Friday. Well, guess what? If it's down more today, he'll be buying more today. So that's his view, right?
Because I think NVIDIA's got a target price by the analysts of was $150 a share. And if it's down to 90, good buying opportunity.
Good buying opportunity, and definitely a solid company.
Yeah.
You know, not going anywhere. But yeah. It's find they're all on sale today, I think. So now, how long will it continue? We'll see. You know,
I think we'll know a heck of a lot more in the next 48 hours.
Yeah. As Tom Lee's a smart guy from Fundstrat.
I do like Tom.
He figures Wednesday's the bottom. So you know, my God, what a guru if that happens. Outcome 6, recession for 1 to 3 quarters and then start to bounce back. There's way too much debt, correct, and neither party wants to stop substantial spending. Well, you know, Doge, like Musk is cutting. He's cutting like a son of a gun. People don't like that. They don't want to lose their government jobs.
No.
So guess who was out protesting? All those government workers that
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, like hello, but in the long run, it's kind of needed. And the guy that's running for prime minister in Canada, he just announced on the weekend, if I get elected, I'm putting a Doge department in. You know,
I didn't hear that. Okay.
Oh yeah, and you know, call it what you want. I mean, some people hate it. Obviously, if you're working for the government in the U.S. and you lost your job, you hate it. But it's what's needed. If you're not efficient in what you do, guys. I mean, obviously, most governments have too many people. And, you know, the government will always tell you, well, we know how to spend your money better than you do. You know, well, that ain't the way it is, guys.
So what Alcom says, he's thinking there's going to be a recession. What's your thoughts?
I don't think we're there yet. I think if things get straightened out this week, we'll be okay. Now, hey, if it's going to be a recession, so be it. It won't be long, in my opinion. And why is that? Because, you know, technology is catching up. Like we've got AI now. Companies make money. Stock price is good. You know, economy is good. Yeah. It's when the companies don't make money, then everything starts to fall down. Well, the companies are making money, Coop. They're still making money. Part of it is because of AI. You know, they're able to cut their either fixed costs or labor costs or whatever it is through the use of AI. Well, that ain't going to stop. That's going to get better and better and better. So you're going to have your winners. You're going to have some losers that don't, you know, catch up, which is the way it should be. But no, I don't think there'll be a recession, and if there is, it certainly won't last long. And what happens? So why are we in Bitcoin? The governments cannot stop printing money.
Correct.
And if things get tough, they're going to come to the well and they're going to say, "Hey guys, okay, here's some money. Let's get." China's already done it. They've floated, billions of dollars into their economy. Well, that has to go somewhere on the planet, and that'll cause the asset prices to go up again. So get into a hard asset like Bitcoin. You're protecting yourself, in my opinion. So yeah, but no, I don't see it lasting long.
And speaking of Bitcoin, and since we started the live stream, it's up $2,000 from 77, now at 79.48. So yeah, it's on a rebound.
They're listening to us.
Yes,
they're saying yes, we better buy. Jeff Sigler, hello CBDJ. Hope everyone is doing okay. We are,
and we thank you, Jeff, for coming on and joining us.
Don Delanic, there he is, Mr. XRP. Eric and Donald Trump bought a ton of BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Started a Bitcoin miner. Yeah, they bought HUT. What did Daddy whisper in their ear? Buy Bitcoin. That's what they said.
No doubt. Yes, I did hear that news, Don, that the two Trump sons, are wanting to have their own American miner in Bitcoin.
Yeah. They set up a company. It had something to do with HUT 8. HUT 8's got a bit of a bag. I think around 11,000 Bitcoin. So yeah, listen, it's all positive for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Depending which vehicle you want to get into, that's, using Bitcoin, whether it's the miners or the ETFs or MicroStrategy or MSTY, you're kind of involved in that segment of the economy. So yeah. Robert Pierpont, NVIDIA is under 90 right now. That's probably projected opening, Robert. Yeah. So there you go, Coop. If you're looking at NVIDIA, might be a good buy.
And Wonderlust says NVIDIA is 94.31.
I think that was check my close.
We've got two different figures here. Let me just check on my app, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. Brooke checking too?
I'm checking. Yeah, Robinhood will give you the overnight markets here. So let's see.
Yeah, so will Interactive Brokers.
Okay.
Let me just check NVIDIA. And here we go.
The overnight market on NVIDIA, Coops, right now it sits at 89.27.
That's exactly the same figure I've got. 89.27 NVIDIA right now.
Now, that doesn't mean it's going to open at that. Could open higher, could open lower. It's just that if you
that's the overnight trading.
Yeah, and if you're in a platform that allows you to do overnight trading, you can probably put 100 share buy in or that, or 10 share, whatever you want. You can probably get it at the 89, providing your platform allows it. So yeah, interesting. El Romeo, NVIDIA at 92.60 after close. Yeah, that was down a little lower even than that now, Alpha.
It's down in the 80s. 89.
89 and change.
Wow.
808 Bear, Aussie's still down against the bot. Not good for my Aussie pesos.
Yeah, I called it wrong on Saturday night, and I owe you guys an apology. I looked across the index, and everything was up against the bot, except for the Aussie dollar. And I was just looking at Canadian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, and everything else, American dollar. And it looked to me at the time when I called it on Saturday that everything was up against the Thai baht because of the tariffs. But the Aussies had dropped a whole baht against their one Australian dollar. Wow. So apologies for that.
There's a lot of Aussies here, and they love it. They love Thailand. They seem to say there's too much government regulation in Australia if they're talking about businesses, right? Prices are through the roof on housing, food costs, everything, so yeah, they're enjoying their retirement here.
Well, when Darlene and I went out for our meal last night at the boathouse, there's a TT Money Exchange right next to the 7-Eleven by the boathouse. And I did notice on there, they were given a flat rate for the US dollar, 34. Yeah, which is
pretty good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
That's actually a little better than Wise right now, which, Jesus, that's hard to believe. But Robert Pierpont at Wanderlust Asia. No, it's not. It's 88 and change in the overnight market. Okay, so 88, 89 in that area.
Hovering around there.
But again, you need access to an overnight market to get that. In other words, you're not buying during the regular trading day, which is 9:30 Eastern Standard Time to 4 p.m.
Correct.
So, but yeah. Blakester Drums, Coop, did your brother ever get a Cybertruck?
No, he didn't. He's ready to buy one, and I did speak to him. When did I speak to him? I think I spoke to him on Friday afternoon. He says if there's a big stock market crash, he says the prices of Teslas are going to come down. He says old Elon Musk ain't going to have a choice but to, give a rebate, and everything else. And he says, I'm going to hang on for another week, wait and see what happens. He says, I think I can get a good discount. So
time will tell. Chris Wheeler from Texas at Scotty Jean. Cha'an is where the locals go on weekends, and during week beach is yours. And during the week, the beach is yours. So.
Yeah, that's over by Wahin, Cha'an.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking of something else in my
quiet
head.
area.
Yeah.
We've never been there, have we? No.
We've been past it when we went down there.
Is it a small town kind of?
It's just a little bit north of Wahin.
Okay.
So it's about 30 minutes north of Wahin.
Never heard of it.
20 minutes. Now. Yeah.
Carrie Fallon, Coop, I know it doesn't go with the theme, but thought Brooke would be amused at another snowstorm heading for Bancroft tomorrow night. You poor bucket, Carrie. Carrie, you got to haul butt over here because I was just thinking on the weekend, Coop, this is kind of like Florida weather in October, November. But it's like that year round. It's ideal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The poor Terry up in Bancroft, and that's like snow country, man. And here we are in, what month is it? May?
April.
All right. Sorry, I got a lot. You're having so much fun in Thailand, you forget what day it is, let alone what month. But here, oh yeah, that's poor guy, snow country up there in April. That's crazy. Get out the snowblower, Carrie. 808 Bear, Bitcoin holding strong and is still going sideways. Yeah, almost 79 again. A good sign that Bitcoin is decoupling from the share market. Yeah.
And less volatility.
Well, it's still volatile, Coop, but it's 808 Bear's point is that, Bitcoin used to follow the market. Market goes down 10, it would go down at least 10, maybe more. Market goes up 10, it would go up, 5 to 10, 15, who knows. But now it's kind of decoupling.
Yeah.
So the market can drop and Bitcoin can still hold strong. And the example is on Friday, you were down like 5%, I believe, on the Dow, maybe more, and MicroStrategy was up.
Yes.
And if you look, like Jamie had a nice thing, that colored scheme of all the stocks, everything was red except MicroStrategy. So, and that was based on the Bitcoin price to some extent. So it's decoupling, meaning it won't necessarily continue from now on to track the market. In other words, the market can drop and Bitcoin can go up, hold its own. Or not go down as bad.
Last Monday, Michael Saylor bought a huge bag, 22,000 Bitcoin at $1.9 billion. So that sort of, I think, held the weight for Bitcoin throughout all of last week.
Yeah.
During the volatility.
Well, in this GameStop, he raised another billion and change, apparently, to buy Bitcoin. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts that boy's in the market. If he's buying under 80 grand, man, he's going to be another winner.
Yeah.
That guy has made money off that GameStop, which is nothing. That's a useless stock, in my opinion. And he's sitting on billions of cash. And, now he's going to get into Bitcoin and be a winner after all.
Yeah. He's doing the MicroStrategy playbook.
Trying to. Yeah. Scotty Richmond from California. Regarding MicroStrategies, does the dividend they pay out based on the volatility of Bitcoin? You're talking about MSTY there, Scotty.
Yeah.
Does it matter whether the price is going up or down? Okay, so MSTY makes a profit from buying and selling puts and calls on MicroStrategy. And it's paid out every month. There's always a distribution, in my opinion, the stock price does have a bearing, like the stock price in MicroStrategy will have a bearing on what MSTY share price will be. Now, typically, I think over time, as MicroStrategy goes up, MSTY will go up, along with your distributions will go up. Why? You're getting more premiums. The higher the price, the typically more premiums are offered. So, so that, yeah, I can see that going up, but take a look at it, Scotty. It's Yield Max ETFs. That's the website to research. The company manages like tens of millions of dollars, and they've got every pretty well share you can imagine that they'll offer distributions on. But we tend to, at least in our community, stick with MSTY. I know Baba, who got into it originally, was with Coney as well as NVIDIA, NVDY. So because they also pay out the distribution. So, but yeah, check that out, Scotty, and message me if you need any more info on that.
Yeah, and the ticker is MSTY, Scotty.
Yeah.
And they pay a dividend every month. Last month it was 1.3737. This month it's 1.3838. They announced that the payments will go out on the 11th of April.
Okay. So you got to figure, say at 1.3, that's about $15, $16 a year on a $20 stock.
Yeah,
that's like 80% return on your money in a year, guys. So it's why it seems ridiculously high, but it is a volatile stock. Your distributions can go up or down, so you got to deal with volatility. But who's liking that, Scotty, as well as anyone watching? For people that are looking for, Jesus, I need a bit of money to live on. How can I supplement my pensions, or what can I get? And I know it's going to be volatile. 1 month it might be $2 a share, the next month $1 a share. Well, that cut your income in half. But if you got enough shares, you're probably still doing okay. But you know, if a guy's got a couple thousand shares of that, he's got enough money every month to live here.
Oh, heck yeah.
And a couple thousand shares are 40 grand. So if you've got investments and you got 40 grand sitting there, now maybe you got way more than 40 grand. Well, maybe take 40 and put it into that. And then you got that regular income you don't have to touch or live off your others. So there's ways to look at it.
Yeah, that'd give you 2,000 shares at $20 a share if it was. And that would give you an income between $2,000 and $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
US.
Yeah. The high payout on MSTY was $4 a share, Coop. So you're talking $8,000 that month on a dividend, you know, distribution check. And the lows, I think right now at $1.30.
$1.37.
Yeah, so you're still 2,600 on a 2,000 share investment. So definitely 2,600. I wouldn't spend that much each month. You probably wouldn't either, but you know, so yeah, that's a good living here, guys, on that much. So yep. Anyways, do your research. It's not financial advice, as we always should tell everyone. It's just things we do. And reporting on that. Robert Pierpont at Scotty Richmond, MicroStrategy doesn't pay a dividend. I think he meant MSTY, Robert.
MSTY,
MSTY is based on MicroStrategy, on the, you know, the options that they trade and play on. So, but yeah, Scotty Richmond, meaning, can you still be making money even when the Bitcoin is down?
Yes, on MSTY you can.
You will get a distribution every month, Scotty. So what you want to be careful about, though, is that you're sure they're making money, but they might pay more than they made, which means you're only getting your capital back as well as, you know, some profit. So a $2 dividend might only be $1 profit and $1 return to your money, but at least you're getting a check every month. You can count on that. Now, as a historical, how I first heard of that was from Bubba, Scotty Duger, and you know, he had a bag, you know, and he bought a whack. Well, you know, guys, he made his money back in 9 months. He got in early.
Yeah.
Now his average cost was more than $20. You know what I mean? But who cares? He got all his money back. He was there for the $4 a month dividends. He was there for the $3 a month, there for the $2 a month. He's there now for the $1.30 a month, and he's still happy as a clam. So, buy and hold, that's my advice. It is based on MicroStrategy, which is not going anywhere. So there you go. Even if you get into Tesla, or you get into, you know, they do Apple, they do all the big companies, you'll get a check every month, guys. So, and if you're in a good stock that's not going broke, and these aren't, you'll be okay.
Yeah, it's a $2 billion stock right now, I believe, MSTY. Yeah. was, I think, the analysis I heard on it.
Captain Action, Henry from Tampa. I love this show. Thanks, Cooper, Brooke, and Darlene.
And
hit that
thank you,
like
Captain
button then,
Action.
Captain.
Thank you for being
Make
a channel
Darlene
member.
smile.
Yes, please.
Scotty Richmond at Robert Pierpont. That's what I mean. Yeah, we figured that, Scotty. Billy Mayfield, good morning, evening, CBD from Tennessee. Enjoy your show and hope you're all doing well. We are. Hope to see you all one day. Yes, bags aren't too heavy lately. Laughing out loud, but I'm hanging in there.
Keep hanging, Billy.
Yeah, just keep hanging, guys. Don't panic. I mean, when I was younger, and I remember '87. Thank God I'm not in that market, man. That thing's a crash.
I graduated high school.
And I kind of kicked my ass. I didn't get in at that market then because, you said, holy shit, that's going back, 40 years, I guess. But things do come back, Now, the one I did do well on was in, I think, 07, 08, the crash then.
Mm-hmm.
And, but everything was going down. People were panicking. And I kept buying Toronto Dominion Bank stock because Kramer was on NBC saying I wouldn't touch a bank on the planet except for the Canadian banks. They were guaranteed to make money, and he was right. And anyways, hanging in there. That's it. Don't fret, guys. Good time to buy. Tony Montana, we will know Wednesday morning U.S. time. We will find out how much Misty is going to pay.
They've already announced it, Tony. They announced it over the weekend. Saturday morning, our time here in Thailand, we got a Misty announced it. It was on the exchange that the dividend payment will be $1.38 this month.
Good. So up a tad. Tony's into Misty. He likes Misty, and a lot of the subscribers do. So
I do now. Yep. I got the Misty bug.
Nomad Jack, good morning, CBD and gang. Love the show and keeping fingers crossed Trump will at least make a few deals Monday.
It'd be nice if he did.
Yeah, I think we'll hear positive news this week. The markets not necessarily will be positive today. They'll likely be down today, maybe possibly tomorrow. But Tommy Lee from Fundstrat, I think, is right. I think Wednesday at the latest will be the bottom. And there's impetus for not only Powell, the Fed, and even Trump to do something of a positive nature when the markets are like this. So, even if it's just an announcement.
I agree. And welcome, Jack, and thank you for being a channel member, brother. Much appreciated.
Travel Kings, wowzer. Hello, Phyllis. What is the best plane to take to Thailand? Hello, fellas, maybe.
Yeah.
I got my passport and I'm ready to go. I just want to take the safest plane there.
Where are you from, Travel King?
They're
what
all
country?
safe travel. Don't worry. Yeah, where are you from?
Yeah, let us know in the comments where you're from. My favorite is Emirates.
Mine is Thai Airways. I like them. They got big seats. They're nice, friendly people. The service is great. So, but I've never flown Emirates. So there you go.
Yeah.
I flew Philippine Airlines to Asia one time travel, and it was also good.
Yeah.
Air Canada, if you're from Canada, obviously is one to look at. But the thing with Air Canada, they got a unionized workforce, and they got old guys, everybody's old. Even the planes are old.
Yeah.
Oh man. Scotty Jean from New Zealand. Thank you, Chris, for the advice. Don Delonic bought Misty Friday at 1960.
Wow.
Reinvest distributions. Yep. All buys under 20 average. Hurry. Payday the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the payday. So Donna, you're doing well on your buys. He's got his Misty at under 20. So
well done, Don. I need a DCA to get mine lower.
Yeah. And you will. I mean, hey, it's what you got to count on, and you will, is your distribution. Yeah. Show me the money. Show me the money.
Show me the monthly
I'm not
check.
selling my shares. I'm not too worried about the share price. Show me the money every month. Tony Montana, Thailand. Bubba is doing his first walk around in his new home that he has bought. Yeah. Bubba's doing well, so he bought a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And good for him. 808 Bear. The place I see American tariffs in play is 7-Eleven. Thai laid chips are 20 baht, but American laid chips are 100 baht. And he's got a point there. I've seen some of these. They're not they're not knockoffs. They'd be the same, but just repackaged in a different, Thai name on it. And it's like a fifth the price.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
it's
I
the
see
same
that too.
damn open 2 bags, they're the same eat. Oh, Jesus, why is that cheap? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Stevie Dice, Chow Am is near Wahin. There you go. Yep. Alpha Mail, hey Baba. Robert Pierpont, in 87 on Black Monday, it took about a year to get back to slightly green. Yeah, I think things happen faster now, Robert. Back then, you didn't have the internet speeds. We didn't even have maybe the internet to look at.
It wasn't existed yet.
Yeah, so but today it's kind of instant. The information it's quick. So I don't think you'll see that ever take that long to do the bounce again, guys. Live and learn with Mike. Good morning, DJ Cooper, Brooke, and Darlene. Everything is on sale. Buy. Yep, if you're able to.
If you're able to, good opportunity for buying right now.
Yep. Richard Woolley, the EU is crapping themselves that they will end up a dumping ground for cheap Chinese merchandise.
I did see that over the weekend.
Yeah.
One of the EU commissioners was worried that with China and America in the trade war right now, that the Chinese will be looking to dump all their cheap steel and everything else over on Europe, and it would sort of crash the European economy. So they are currently worried about that.
I got nothing to do with them, so I'm not too concerned. But they'll want to come to the table, the EU, in my opinion, with Trump and say, "Hey, listen, what can we do to make everybody happy?"
Well, you think about it. The EU exports to America 500,000 cars a year. 500,000, 500,000 cars a year made in Europe are sold in the US.
Yeah, and good luck trying to ship a car over there.
Exactly.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So there you go. They are. Chrissy Wheeler, bot is $34.53. What a good buying time. That is a good price.
Yeah, as it got back up, I haven't checked this morning. Apologies, folks. Let me have a quick look here, and I'll tell you the exact current rate. $34.62. It's gone up even more since then. Here you go. I'll show you so you guys can see. It's the second one from the bottom. US dollar to Thai baht, 34.63. So doing very, very well. Dollar's very strong right now.
Yep. Good. I think it'll stay that way. Frank T, I believe dollar cost averaging is the best strategy if you have time.
Yes.
Someone said the stock market is the only place people run away when it drops. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the building's on fire. Let's get the hell out of here, where the firefighters are running and save the people. So Richard Woolley, Bitcoin is the lowest I've seen it since I got involved a couple of months ago. Yeah, Richard, 2 months ago, it was probably higher, but
at the election on May the 5th, it was at 70,000.
Bingo.
So it's now at 78,971. So it is up since still up since the election in the US.
It's a good entry point, Richard.
Yeah.
And just you got to figure, and this is what you and I focus on, is buy and hold. Now you did flip some of your ETF, but you put it into MSTY, which is, to me, is a wash. And I understand why, because that monthly check's a nice thing to count on. But no, it's a great entry point, guys. Now there's people out there that'll be fearful. That maybe they're looking at Bitcoin. Oh, geez, I don't know. Everything's going down. What should I do? Hey, you buy and hold. That's all you do. Dollar cost average. It's a terrific time to buy. And I'm thinking of our dear friend Malcolm.
Yes,
Mr. Goldbug. Malcolm, take a little bit and flip it.
Yeah. But he was on Saturday night.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I saw. Malcolm 6. Thanks for all the input. Makes for a great discussion. You guys are off. Be patient. The bottom is a long way off. Take that to the bank. I don't think it's a long way off, but
a couple of days maximum.
Yeah, Malcolm thinking maybe it's going to be more than that, like a month or so. But I think it's less than a week. Jerry Hart, good morning, Coop, Darlene, and Brooke. Hope everyone is feeling better and doing well.
We are, Jerry. Thank you for coming on and joining us.
We're in Thailand. We're doing great. Jack Bree, house sold, settlement end of May, Thailand good in June, election in Oz in May. Yes. Early May, I think, their election. We're at the end of April for Canada, and they're the week later in early May in Australia. So interesting. But no, good for you, Jack. Sold the house. Invest that wisely, and you can live off the proceeds, you know. So
vote for pro-crypto president.
well, yeah, that would be good. Robert Pierpont, everything getting a little bounce in the 24-hour market. It was real bad when the 24-hour market opened at 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. It couldn't keep going down. Many things were 10% down.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And Nike, I think, was 13% down.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you follow at the end of market how far Nike actually fell?
No, I don't follow too much of that because I have no interest in it. But it was down.
It was
based on
down. Yeah.
What, Vietnam? You know,
being
getting hammered. But I try to stay away from definitely any stocks in China. I got burnt on them years ago, and I swore after that I am never buying another share out of that country. They just have the leaders that can do whatever they want. Yeah, you know, and you know, good business or bad doesn't matter. You're getting this way, and that's it. So the hell with that shit. So and okay, so Nike was in China, but then it's in Vietnam. Probably just as bad, in my opinion, but who knows? Okay, Robert Pierpont, Bitcoin was following the market because hedge funds can't use Bitcoin as collateral for margins. So if the market fell, they had to sell Bitcoin to keep margins in check. I think most hedge funds got out of Bitcoin now. Well, you know, time will tell. They'll go where the money is. If they can make a buck. Now, don't kid me. Guys, what these hedge funds will do, the big boys, they want to flush out the longs. They'll put a sell order of thousands of Bitcoin on the market. At the same time, they go and buy the futures. So in other words, you know, they're hedging their bet. They got to sell and they got to buy. You see what I mean? Now, one's to the public and the other is not. So, and they'll do the reverse when they want to liquidate the shorts. You know, they'll put a huge buy in at the same time, go out to the futures and do the sell. You know what I mean? So they got their ass covered, is what you might say. Terry Fallon, Coop and Brooke, always enjoy seeing your two smiling faces. See you on the next live. And Brooke, the snowblower, is still all set to go. Terry's in Bancroft. That's where all the snow capital of Canada.
I do. Wishing you a speedy return to Thailand, Terry.
Boy. Yeah. Robert Pierpont, Misty's high payout was $4.40 a share. Yeah. That, like on a $20 share, that's like getting 25% of your money. You know, damn near 20% for sure. So that's pretty good. And, you know, I think we'll see that again, Robert, in the future. Not, you know, not next month, maybe not the month after, but not too many months, you know, you'll, because volatility is going up. And as volatility goes up, premiums go up. And that's how these boys make their money. The higher the premiums, the more interest there is in the stock. So
when you got things like Bitcoin going up and down $5,000 each day, you know, that's a lot of volatility.
Yeah. So volatility, if a stock goes up, you know, a quarter point, half a point in a week, not much volatility. Yeah. You know, and like Johnson & Johnson, no volatility. No. It's been around forever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, MicroStrategy or Bitcoin, geez, you can get like 5,000 or 10,000 days, you know what I mean, up or down. And so the more consistency that has, the higher the volatility. So, and that creates the premiums. So, Daniel Hall, Danny Vega, the dividends are taxable income, though, right? Yes, they are, Danny. So they're not dividends; they're considered a distribution. So it's kind of considered 100% income for when you're filing your tax. The big thing to watch, I got caught on this. I thought, oh, geez, I'm going to put Misty into my tax-free trading account. You know what I mean? I'm just going to buy and hold. It'll be tax-free. Yeah, tax-free when I take it out of there. But they ding me the withholding tax going in. Yeah. Jesus, I wasn't even, you know. And now, so I called, you know, my platform, TD Bank, and I said, look you know, how much? 30%? Hell with that shit. Well, we got a 15% tax treaty. So I had to, you know, I did the form. So it was 15%. Yeah. And then I says, well, Jesus, is there a way around this? Like, yeah, if you put it in your retirement fund, the tax treaty says it goes in tax, like no withholding.
Yeah.
So in future, if I wanted that, I just pay the tax when I pull it out then. So that's something I'll look at. But yeah, they are taxable. Robert Pierpont at Danny Hall, Danny Vega. Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about the tax. Scotty Richmond. Here's the reason for my questions regarding yield max. Misty seems to have an eroding initial investment, whereas the Amazon and Tesla ETFs do not. And what Scotty's talking about there is that they've got a share issue price, Coop, when they start. And sure, you can get, say $40.
Yeah.
And you go down to the share now at $20. Well, how much dividends did you get out? Well, maybe you only got $24 dividends. And like say Bubba's case, he's got more than he put in.
Right.
But really, if he paid 40, he only got $4 more than he didn't get 24 because it dropped to 20. So you see what I mean? But I believe, Scotty, that the volatility, you'll see that erosion go back up. So yeah, you always want to be careful with these yield max ETFs that, hey, the money I give them for the share, is that at a high price or at a low? And I think right now you're getting it at low.
Very low.
There is people that paid 40, and if they're still in, hopefully they probably haven't got all their money back yet. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
At $20, probably at 20 they maybe did, but yeah. So the key with any stock, you want to buy on the low or as low as you can get. Where if you buy at the peak, hey, you might be, if you bought Bitcoin at 109, you're going to be waiting a little longer to make it, aren't you? Expired passport, bro. Coop, ZipPay getting absolutely hammered, down 10.5%. ZipPay, what's that? Is that?
I don't know.
No,
I've never heard of them. Expired passport, bro.
No, yeah, let us know what that is.
Yeah.
Stuart, hi guys. We can't buy Misty in the UK. We are the ultimate nanny state.
You can if you go through IBKR.
Take a look at that, Stuart.
Yes. IBKR will allow you to buy it. So there is a way around it. And I've helped several British people do it, Stuart.
Yes, we do have British people here, Stuart, that Joe is one of them. Now, he set up IBK, bought his Misty, got his dividend, and he told me he got a call from the platform stating, okay, we're not going to, do anything with you, but I don't think we're going to let you buy any more.
Really?
Which I thought
was a cutoff.
That's odd. Yeah, there was a cutoff. So, maybe
there may be a limit as how much you can buy.
Yeah, you have to look at that. So, yeah. But yeah, Stuart, you're right. That's a bit of a nanny state over there when they tell you what you can do with your money.
Yeah.
Danny Hall, Danny Vega, I'm going to put Route 66 meeting on my calendar and see if Grab sets me up with a ride like it says right from my calendar. Well,
yeah, we're going to be there today at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been a month, I guess, since we've been there. So looking forward to that. Great.
It has.
Great breakfast, and the coffee's good, and it's unlimited, guys.
Yeah.
I heard a ding over there.
I did too. And it was your best buddy, Scotty Richmond, bought us 3 coffees and says, thanks for another great live stream. Reminder, if you can check on the import tax on sending personal belongings to Thailand. Yes, I will be speaking to Singh later on today for you. Scotty, I haven't forgotten about you.
Scotty, you might want to
thank you for the coffee, brother.
Wait for Trump and Thailand to come to an agreement on the free trade. Maybe that'll help, eh? Robert Nutt. Go back there. Didn't get that.
There you go.
There you go. Robert Nutt. Morning, gentlemen. I am not panicking. Good. The countries that should be panicking are the countries that actually produce something. China is having a hard time right now. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they, they'll get through this. We'll all get through it. It's, anyways, nobody should panic. Robert Pierpont, one of the few stocks that was up on Friday was GameStop. Talk about a stock that seems to have a floor of about 21 bucks. Been doing good selling puts on it too. Sell $20 strike or less and it's gravy train. Yeah. Robert, I'm not big on GameStop because I don't think they produce shit. You know what I mean?
But now they're getting into Bitcoin. That could be
a different story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if Bitcoin doubles, you'll see that GameStop stock price go ballistic. But selling puts is a good way to make some money. Do your research, guys. Check in. There's good YouTube videos, basic ones, selling puts. You know what's involved. Don Delonic, DJT on the NASDAQ applied for an XRP ETF. What does the president of the USA know? What does he
Something's
know?
happening.
Something's
Something's
up,
happening.
Donnie.
Yeah.
Expired passport bro. Coop, it's a bloodbath on the Australian Stock Exchange, down 160 billion Australian at the open.
Wow.
Wow, there'll be a few rate cuts coming somewhere on the planet, guys.
We're going to have to do something to counteract it.
Yeah. Daniel Hall, Danny Vega. I took American Airlines from Tampa to Pattaya City Airport. Pattaya, that must be the one in
Utapao.
Utapao. Doha, Qatar had the best airport I've ever been through.
I've been through Doha and Qatar Airport, and several times working out in the Middle East and Kuwait. I've used just about every airline out there, but by far, I think Dubai's got the most fantastic, up-to-date, futuristic airport terminal I've ever been in.
I've seen pictures.
Wow. It's like being in a 7-star hotel. You know, when you walk in there, it's just amazing the amount of money they spent to make that airport what it is.
I've been in Seoul. The best one I've been in, I've never been in that one, by the way, but Seoul, Korea. Oh man, that was state of the art compared to what? Well, flew out of Canada. Tampa was okay, but even that was better than Seoul. And the Philippines. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So compared to what? Well,
yeah.
Jeff Trio. Hey guys, I have 500 shares in the MSTY, putting $1,000 tomorrow when it hits 18 or 19.
I would love it.
Yeah. Like, so 100 shares would be 2,000 or 1,900 in your case. So yeah, you'll get some shares for that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good. Well done, Jeff.
That's called dollar cost averaging, Jeffy. Smart thing to do. Jack Bree, easiest way for Australia to buy MSTY? ?
I would suggest the same, IBKR.
Yeah, that's, you'll have,
because you have IBKR in Australia.
You will.
Yes,
you will, and they'll have their own Australian platforms.
Correct.
Yeah, I would, Jack, just say, hey, check out if you can download the platform, or at least, you know, say, hey, and then just attempt to put hey, check out the price. You know, just see, hit the buy button, you know, 10 shares, see what it comes up with. Sorry, not allowed. Well, then you know you're X out of luck, but you know, typically you can't. Australia is not as bad as England.
No, England's a lot stricter.
And there's a lot of Aussies, that own MSTY here that haven't had an issue. You know, so
because I think what the England government is doing is absolutely diabolical. They're only allowing the multimillionaires to buy into crypto. So they're allowing them to get a lot richer, but not the average Joe.
Well,
yeah,
they're the ones that, you know, do the political contributions, eh? Daryl Finley, there's Daryl. The Bitcoin saying sell in May, then go away is not valid anymore. Delayed? ? And does it just refer to meme coins and such, not apply to Bitcoin itself? Okay, let's do
go ahead.
Yeah, guys, I do not touch meme coins. I do not touch altcoins, save if I was Solana. That'd be the only one. I don't like XRP. I don't like Ether, Ethereum. I don't like any of them because there's, to me, nothing backing them. Solana has a use case scenario, so that's maybe why. But I wouldn't put a very big percentage at all into Solana. However, Bitcoin, that's a totally different story. You buy and hold your Bitcoin and you will be quite happy in the next 5 to 7 years, beyond your wildest imagination, in my opinion. So sell them may go away. Well, yeah, I wouldn't sell my Bitcoin. You come back at the end of the, you know, season back in October, you know, selling may go away, come back in the summer, and then you end up buying. You might be priced out of the market. So just buy and hold.
Yeah. DCA is another good way of doing it.
Tim H. Hey guys, I would still like to move to Thailand from Tampa, Florida.
Come on over, bud. Get plenty of room here for you in Thailand.
All of you guys out there, you won't believe how happy you will be in Thailand. I talked to buddies back home on the weekend, and you know, they're bundled up in their jackets in Canada, and they got their toques on, and you know, and whining and complaining. The prices are too high, the government sucks, and all this. And I tell him, I says, hey, come to Thailand. It's stress-free here. You don't have stress in Thailand. Stress is a killer. These people back there in the West are stressed out. Come to Thailand, you're going to love it. The weather is fantastic. The food is fantastic. The people are fantastic. And Bitcoin's on sale. What better life could you have? Tommy Lee, there's the Tominator. Couldn't take the pain. Had to sell Bitcoin.
Who sold Tommy?
Tommy.
Tell me you didn't sell Tommy. Or you moved
Now,
it into
Tommy,
MSTY or
if you were-
MicroStrategy to get a better leverage play
Well,
on
hopefully, Tommy, you weren't margined where you had to sell. So
Yeah.
it was a choice Tommy made. I think it's the improper one, but Tommy's Tommy. Good morning, Cooper, Brooke, and Darlene. Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning to you, brother.
Mark Schaefer. Hey, Cooper and Brooke. Is there a ticker symbol for MSTY ETF, or how do you trade it? Yes, the ticker symbol is MSTY.
Yes.
So where are you, Mark? Are you in the West, Australia, England? That's the ticker symbol on, I believe it's the Dow or
Yes.
New York. Sorry, New York Stock Exchange. I don't think it's on NASDAQ. Could be. But either one, it's the same thing when you put your buy in. Doesn't matter. They route it to where it is. But first thing is, check out the Yield Max, YIELDMAX, all one word, Yield Max ETFs. You Google it, you'll pull up their web page. It'll explain all the stock symbols that they offer. Apple, NVIDIA, Tesla, all the major ones. They offer this on. They'll have the payouts listed. I don't know how much history they do on the payouts, but you can Google that and there'll be pull it up on that. And then do your research and then, hey, decide. Yeah. Am I rambling on too much here?
Nope, you're doing fine.
Alfa Romeo, that little food munchkin pin says hello. She asked you guys what the price of Bitcoin is now, not the chocolate Bitcoin.
Hovering around 79. So it's 78,988 right now, and it's going up to 79,100, back to 78,900. So hovering around that $200 mark.
Alpha is Canadian from Stony Creek, and he's been with this lovely Thai lady, Pin, for years.
Yeah,
calls her the little food munchkin because she is tiny.
Oh, she is.
But
very
the
small.
point is, guys, you can have long distance relationships work in Thailand. Alpha is a guy that's proved that.
Yeah, for many years now.
Yeah, he's a fantastic partner. They have, they love each other. Blakester Drums, I mentioned CoinPro a few weeks ago. Yes, you did. Did you guys look into it? I'm an XRP guy, and I park 75% of mine with them earning 12 to 16% that buys more XRP, and they are coming out with a coin this quarter. Blakester, I did. I had a quick look at it, and God dang it. It seems so complicated. Like, first off, I only want to invest in things I understand, because, and you should too. If you don't understand something, scratch your head. Why am I investing in this? I don't understand what the hell's going on. That's kind of, oh, Jesus, that's a risky venture. I looked at that, Blakester, and I couldn't make hide nor hair of it, mainly because it was pretty technical. And I suppose if I had to spend a lot of time researching it, I might have understood it. Like anything in life, if you do enough research and understand the words, what they mean, you'll be okay. I didn't that. Then I had to look at, okay, am I happy with what I got? Yeah, I am. Am I doing okay? Yeah, I am. So, why rock the boat? But anyone out there, obviously, Blakester's doing it. He seems to love it, guys. Maybe you guys take a look, see what you think. It sounds like a pretty good return. So, there's alternatives to MSTY that are out there. Bigster, there he is, the skipper. Hi, guys. From
Bigster, Skipper. He's changed it. Look, he's put it in brackets, Skipper. I have something for you that I bought on the cruise ship. I need to see you at the meet and greet on the 25th of this month, the 4th Tuesday. Bigster, make sure you come because I've got a souvenir that I bought from the cruise ship just for you.
And you will love it. Okay?
You're going to love it.
Bigster, you got to be there because you are absolutely going to love it.
Yes.
I can't believe you spent that much of your winnings on this souvenir for Vigster.
I did.
People are
I
going to
did.
get jealous.
Yeah.
Stuart says, how's the rental availability at Dusset now? Must be close to off season. Thank you.
We are fully booked up. There are virtually no availabilities right now. We're at the month of Songkran, the highest part of high season, and it is fully booked up. The availabilities will start rolling in from
May 1st on.
Yeah. May 1st.
There's still all kinds of availabilities, I think, Stuart, just maybe not in Dusset 2.
Yeah.
I don't know about Dusset 1 or, the other Dussets on the beach areas, but there's availabilities. It's just what price you're going to pay. You know?
And high season is in full effect right now, Stuart. Darlene and I, like I said earlier in the live stream, went out for a meal on Jump In Beach Road last night at the boathouse. We took the car. I couldn't park.
No.
We had to come back to the condo, drop off the car, get the motorbike, and then go back there so we could get a parking space. Yeah, absolutely packed, double and triple parked on Beach Road.
A lot of people come for the water festival, Songkran,
which starts on the 13th of this month.
Like it's around the corner, guys. So that's when you call high season, this will be the highest of the high season. Is the next till the end of April.
Correct.
But it's funny, May 1st comes, even at Dusset, it's kind of like things emptied out. Where'd everybody go?
Yeah.
The kids aren't in the pool. The parents aren't pushing the strollers anymore. Like, where'd everybody go?
It just empties. It becomes a ghost town. Yeah, which is fantastic. My favorite part of the year.
Yeah. Daniel Hall, Danny Vega, Route 66 today at 11. Correctamundo.
Yep.
I'm not going to be able to make it today, but next one. Okay. I have a grab for later in the afternoon to get some Thailand cigarette rolling tobacco. Running out of my American supply. Yeah, I guess there's rolling tobacco here, eh, Coop?
Yeah, you can buy it here. Yeah. They got rolling tobacco, chewing tobacco,
they
smoking
definitely
tobacco.
Would have the rolling papers for their other products.
Oh, yeah. 105 people on, only 40.
Helps the channel.
There we go. I'm back. Okay. So, yeah, now we're looking backwards at each other, but it's okay.
Are we? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Jay Easy. Well said, Brooke. Totally sabai in Thailand.
Yeah.
Elcom 6 got a unit in Dusset 2 for a month of May. Okay, good.
Well done.
Maybe we bump it into another in the gym or steam room. Bump into one another.
Yeah.
Or the pool. We'll be in the pool
normally
too.
At the pool about 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. Definitely message us or meet some of the guys and say hello, and we'd love to meet you.
Yeah. Let me just remove you from the stage and then add you back in. There we go. Now we're both the right way around.
Okay. Jeff Trujillo. Hi guys. My goal is 1,000 shares in the MSTY. Then I can retire, and I'm only 50. Here I come.
Land of smile. Here I come.
Good idea,
Good
Jeffy.
plan.
Yeah. Currently, Jeffy, that'll give you about a $1,300 US payment
per month. Yeah.
Now, again, if you're a US citizen, you'll just worry about the taxes at year end.
Yeah.
If you're not, then tax treaty should be able to get you down to 15% withholding, and then you'll just file your taxes. But yeah, so that's a good goal to have. You might even want to look at increasing that as time permits, No. But 50 years, good age to retire.
Yep. A very good age.
Mark Romano, can a guy use a VPN to buy Bitcoin in a different country? Can a guy get a visa if required to apply from your home country? Coop, go ahead.
Can you use a VPN to buy Bitcoin in a different country?
Probably, but why would you
want to?
Yeah, why would you need a VPN to buy Bitcoin? So maybe he's talking about England where they won't let him buy.
Maybe he's talking about the MSTY, and that they're not allowing him to buy it on the from England.
Yeah.
You're gonna mark whenever you want to buy stocks on the U.S. stock market. They're going to ask you for your proof of who you are. So they're going to ask you for things like passport, driver's license, proof of where you live, you know, utility bill, stuff like that. So a VPN really isn't going to help you in any sort of way for Misty.
Yeah.
I do know that with IBKR, they will allow you to buy it, but it seems it's at a fixed amount based on what you're telling us with one of our subscribers.
Yeah.
But at least he was able to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Coop's referring to Mark and people listening as all these platforms have what's called KYC, know your customer.
Yes.
So you need to enter in your personal information, typically a passport, and it's scanned. And oh, okay, you're from England, so your withholding taxes are this much, if you're allowed to buy.
Right.
You know, you're from the States. There's no withholding taxes, and they know this. These platforms from the KYC, know your customer data that you've entered.
Right.
So that's kind of how that works now. Your last part of the question, Mark, is can a guy get a visa if required to apply from your home country? So you're talking
a Thailand visa. You can get a visa, retirement visa here in Thailand. You can also go to the Thai embassy in your home country and apply for a retirement visa as well. But you got to jump through hoops.
Yeah.
We recommend getting it inside Thailand through an agent. You come here as a tourist, you get a 60-day entry stamp, and the agents can do it normally within 3 weeks, get you a retirement visa if you're over 50. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, as far as VPNs, the first part of the question, don't count on that protecting you. They've got the, you know, it'll be based on, hey, whatever country you entered as your residence. Okay. Mark Schaefer. Yes, I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I have an account with IBKR. Thanks, guys. Okay. You're going to be fine then, Mark.
Yeah. No problems.
Bubba's from Alabama.
Yes.
So not too far from Texas. Robert Pierpont, had to roll my hood put on Friday, had a 36.50 strike, went like to 34.50, still collected $33 to roll it out and down. The option out 4 weeks and a lower $30 strike. Well done. You can get paid even when you are on the losing end.
True.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you're on the losing end, Robert. You just lowered your strike price.
Yeah.
And,
you can roll up and out, roll down and out.
Yeah. So well done on that. Yeah. Robert knows what he's doing. He's following the.
Yeah. Well done, Robert.
Vigster, the skipper. Hi, guys, from the cool and drizzly Pacific Northwest. I flew Starlux Airlines, business class.
Wow.
Starlux, never heard of that.
Never, yeah.
Based out of Taiwan. Very nice. I'll try to find that skipper's hat before heading back in 2 weeks.
I got you one.
Yeah, don't put a big rush in finding one, Vigster. That cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
Exactly like on Gilligan's Island.
I know. I got to have him on a live stream.
We got to take a picture. Live and learn with Mike. I'm in 78% of my crypto portfolio in XRP. I just keep buying.
That's a true XRP diehard right
there. There's a diehard.
Him and Don.
He would love him. Yeah, him and Donnie get together. It'll be an XRP party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, when are you back in Thailand, buddy? Have you got everything taken care of back in the States? Update us and let us know, brother.
By the way, there is more than several people in XRP here.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Not
we do have a
our
community.
Cup of tea, let's say. Yeah. But a lot of the guys, they love it. Patrick McCoy, I think the big boys are playing for blood and depressing Bitcoin so they can buy on the cheap. I tend to agree, Patrick.
I think that's exactly what's going on.
They're playing games.
Yeah.
Jimmy says, Coop, what's the rule on a spouse getting pension after we die?
Getting your pension, Jim, depends where you're from. If you're from America, your wife can get your pension after you die. Make sure you got a will in both America and Thailand if you're coming to Thailand.
Yeah.
Protect yourself because Thailand won't recognize your will from your home country. You have to have a will here for your assets that you have here in Thailand. So if your pension's going into a Thai bank account, they're not automatically going to give it to your wife. You have to go see an attorney here and get a will drawn up. You can do it very cheap here in Thailand. It's not expensive at all. You get it notarized, and then the attorney holds on to it, and you're pretty much protected. Pretty much protected in Thailand.
I think a lot of it depends, Jim, what country and what type of pension you have.
Yeah.
I can tell you from Canadian standpoint. So I get two pensions. I get an old age pension, and also a Canada pension.
Right.
Now, an old age pension in Canada, everybody gets. If you've lived there for 10 years or more, you're going to get it.
Okay.
Doesn't, regardless of whether you worked or not, everybody's entitled to it when they hit 65. So, but again, you can't just show up 3 months ago and get it. You got to be there for, I think, a minimum 10 years. So that's the one. The other one, Canada pension, you pay into.
Yeah.
So you can only collect that provided you paid into it. And the more you paid and the longer you worked, the more you'll get.
Right.
The old age pension, should something happen to me, ceases. Sorry, my wife's out of luck. She's not 65 and she ain't even in Canada for the 10 years. So bingo, that's out. However, my Canada pension, she is entitled to what's called a percentage, and it's based on her age.
Yeah.
So it depends how old she is, should something happen to me. Currently, I think it's around 30% of what I collect in my Canada pension. But that'll go on forever for her, until maybe she's expired. But so every country will have, and your pension,
different percentages that they pay out,
and rules as to what but it is worthwhile checking out. So at least people have some certainty on that, Yeah. And obviously, you'd have to apply for that. If nobody knew about it and nobody applied for it, then you ain't going to get shit. You know what I mean? Which ain't good. So. Communication. Robert Pierpont, if you're going to owe $1,000 in federal taxes in the U.S., you have to make quarterly estimated tax payments. Got to be careful with the distributions of MSTY, or you will owe a penalty at the year end. Canada's not as bad. The first year that you owe the money, you're not going to get penalized. Maybe a little bit interest. But then the next year they'll send you statements, say you owe this much on a quarter. Well, why the hell do I owe that? I don't know what I'm going to make. Well, they're estimating on what you filed. So,
yeah.
And even in Canada, it ain't so bad. If you miss those payments, you just owe the interest. There's not.
And if they over-evaluate it, you can file a tax adjustment at the end of the year, and they'll pay you the difference.
And I think it would be similar, Robert, as far as the U.S. is not as punitive, let's say, as it sounds there. But if, put it this way, you got to make quarterly payments. They ain't going to be a lot, because they're not taxing you 100% of your income. You know what I mean? You're 10, 15, 20% tax rate, whatever. And you're getting a monthly check. So you just, those 4 times a year, you send the check in, whatever they're wanting. And at least your taxes are paid that way.
And if they don't refund you the difference, normally what the IRS will do is give you a tax adjustment for the following year.
Yeah. Depends on your other filings.
Yes.
Don Delana, MSTY acts like a stock at 109K. MSTY MicroStrategy 500. MSTY $46. 83,000 K. Bitcoin 289. MicroStrategy 1960. MSTY. So he's talking different prices of MicroStrategy, what MSTY was at, and you wouldn't want to get in at MSTY at $46. That's for damn sure. And MicroStrategy
below 20, definitely buying opportunity.
1960, even better. Yeah. Don Delanic, I am in the silver balls. MSTY with my 25K. A Dusset Man Friday. Join the golf balls club. 100K
the gold balls
and
club.
Up in MSTY. Gold balls.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got 100K in MSTY. You're talking about 5,000 shares. You're getting a big check every month.
Exactly.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Bubba was getting big money, like 3-4 times that a month. So, blown away. Jeff Ziegler, for our British friends, if they are limited on how many shares of MSTY they can buy, they may be able to buy one of the other high yield funds. Well, he's got a point there. Yeah. You don't have to put all your eggs in MSTY's basket. You could I looked at Tesla right now, and also Coiny. CONY.
Yeah. So you spread it between the 3.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at doing. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. We'll see what today does.
Yeah. Good idea.
Tony Montana at Donnie. Good morning, mate. Yeah, he's a fellow XRP holder. Michael Halsey. Hi, guys. Will Cooper was playing pirate while I sent you and Bitcoin, and Trump moves to set it up as part of U.S. financial system. Talking about Bitcoin there. Also, Trump's boys are setting up their own stable coin, which is part of Trump's plan. Well, Donald ain't, his sons will be taking over. Brian Barbaric. Hello, Cooper and Brooke. I could not sleep, so got up early. Now it's 4:20 a.m. in Durban, South Africa.
And thank you, Brian, for coming on and joining us. We're just about to wrap up, folks. We're at an hour and a half, and we have to get ready to go for brunch.
Ooh. Alvy Abroad. So you do have to pay tax on dividends, Misty, when you're reinvesting all of them. Yeah, like that goes, well, it depends.
Not if you're reinvesting. If you're taking the dividends and buying more shares, you don't have to pay taxes on that. You only have to pay taxes once you collect the money and you're cashing out, I believe. Is that right, Brooke?
You are incorrect, sir.
Okay,
you, sir,
tell me. I want to know.
No. If you, like in Canada, if they were in my retirement fund, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But probably, unless people have that, if you're under 50, you're probably, well, they might still be able to contribute. We'll see on that. But it depends on the platform you're putting it in. And when I put it into the TFSA, the tax-free savings account, sure, it would have come out tax-free, but going in, they hammered me. Okay. If I put it in my margin account, they would have hammered me. The only one, it turns out, of the 3 accounts I own is the retirement account. So, and there I could reinvest it. So you're actually right on that end. But on the other ends, so if first off, they take a withholding tax on those other 2 accounts. So I get, say, 85% of the dividend, and then I reinvest the money into more shares. Okay, no tax, except when the new dividend comes. It'll be 15% on a higher amount, hopefully. You know what I mean? Because I got more shares, right? So yeah, you at the end of the year, guys, you'll still have to pay on the total dividends you receive, even if you did reinvest.
Okay.
Now, let me give you an example. If you took, this is found money. I can live on my other income. I don't need the Misty dividends to live. So I'm going to put every dividend into more Misty shares, and it's going to grow and grow and grow and grow. You still got to file at the end of the year, and you'll have a nice tax payment, but you'll have a lot more shares to pay it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's still, the governments want their money regardless, guys.
Okay.
Daryl Finley at Jim, my pension had options I had to choose at retirement. Double X the amount if pension just for me. Why if we have a survivor to get the pension? So I think Daryl's referring to where you pick your pension at the end. In other words, if you want your wife to continue after you died, you're going to get less.
Yeah.
But if it's just you, you're going to get more until you pass. You know what I mean? But the smart thing, I would always tend to look at, hey, you got a spouse, you're getting along great, you want to have her looked after, which is the way I look at it. So you take a lower amount now, Daryl, and then but it lasts both lives.
Yeah, because I'm 55 now, so I still got another 7 years.
Well, you're not collecting. Yeah, you'd have to wait for your Social Security. But,
yes.
Blakester Drum says, D. Finney, my pension works the same. A lot of them are the same.
Yeah, okay.
Living on with Mike, best way to buy Misty. Where's Mike at again? Is he in the States?
States, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just go on to your trading platform. Coop uses IBKR. A lot of guys here like IBKR. The reason is they're in most countries, pretty well the world. They're solid. They're not going anywhere. They're probably the biggest worldwide for that avenue. And their fees are cheap. It's like a chicken. Cheap. Yeah, there's virtually no fees.
All right. Wrapping this up.
Robert Pierpont at Alvy Broad, 100% you do. Misty is not a normal dividend. It's actually a distribution. Correctamundo, not a true dividend. Yeah, we refer to it as dividends, but technically it is distributions. Dividends in Canada are taxed at a lot less rate, but they're not dividends. They're considered distributions, as they are throughout the planet. So Scotty Richmond, what is backing Bitcoin?
Mm.
Oh, I don't know. What's backing it, Scotty, is like what's backing the US dollar? Oh, maybe they got gold. I don't know. They haven't done an audit. Just to keep printing more paper. What's backing Bitcoin is that there will never be more than 21 million. So it is the only hard asset on the planet that has a fixed supply.
Yeah.
Typically, with
supply.
everything else, Scotty, as prices go up, more will come onto the market. As gold prices go up, trust me, guys are digging for more gold.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get any more Bitcoin than the 21 million. So that's a big reason of it. But really, what's backing it is that the faith in it is, it's like faith in the US dollar. People, the reason it's around is because people will accept it and will believe in it. Well, that's what's happening with Bitcoin throughout the planet. People are accepting it and they believe in it, as you and I do. So that's what is backing it. It's the good faith and will of people that are in it. Now, people, it's a Ponzi scheme. You can't physically hold anything. Well, that's been proven to be wrong. It's the best performing asset, Scotty, over the last since
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Outperforming, including NVIDIA and Apple and the S&P and the Dow Jones. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Jeff Trujillo, I got a question. When your credit cards expire, will they send them to you in the land of smiles? I live in New Mexico. Probably not. You'd have to get them
a forwarding address.
Yeah, forwarding address or family, and then they can forward it over there. But I would be very leery of any bank or credit card company, as they would send this to Thailand. Who the hell's in Thailand?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Stu Lovell, Scotty Richmond, nothing backs BTC except the goodwill. Don Delonic, you need a USA 401k, then MSTYs are tax deferred. Okay, so it sounds like from Donnie that if you put the MSTY into your 401k, even the distributions are not taxed until you probably pull it out of there. So as long as you let it grow in there, you're okay. Good to know. That is what I do. Okay, so Donnie does that. That'd be similar to my retirement account, as I was told.
Yeah.
If I put the MSTY into my retirement account, no withholding tax, even though I'm Canadian, except when I go to pull it back out. Then it would be. Otherwise, they steal your money. Well, hopefully it's only 15%, Donnie, and your taxes paid. This is the power of the 401, or if you have a Roth IRA, no taxes. Okay.
Thanks for the feedback, Donnie. We do appreciate it.
Check with your accountants, guys. Vanilla Man in America. There's a new one, eh?
Yeah.
If you are going to chase dividend yields, then you need to buy insurance in the form of put options. Okay, so what Vanilla's stating is that he wants to invest in MSTY possibly. He's going to get the insurances, but he doesn't want that stock price to fall. At least he wants to be protected. So he's going to buy a put. And,
to counteract it. Yeah.
Counteract that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's like insurance. So you'd have to see the price of the put. But, that's a way to do it.
Yep.
So
make money on top of money.
Yeah, and the key on that, guys, do your research. Buying and selling puts is, can be complicated. You need to understand it first before you dabble.
Yeah.
Robert Pierpont, 21 million and something like 2 million, I think, already lost forever.
Closer to 5.
Closer to 5 is what they say, Robert. So, time will tell. But I believe that with Jamie Invest Answers, there's a great resource, guys. Invest Answers. He believes 5 million is kind of gone forever, never to be. I mean, when a guy gets, knocked off in a car crash and he lost his key phrases and his device, nobody knew about it. Those are gone. The guy in the dump that lost his hard drive, maybe that's never coming back. Probably not. Those are lost forever. So that's a shortage that, you'll see. What are we up to for likes?
54 only.
Oh, Jesus.
Get those likes button.
Make Darlene smile. Alpha Romeo, thanks, gents, for another great crypto. Enjoy your brunch at Route 66.
Okay, Romeo. Thank you, and hopefully you'll be joining us soon.
Living on with my great channel. Thanks, guys. Hit the like button.
Yes, please.
Mark Schaefer, go eat, guys.
Thank you. And last comment goes to
Daryl Finley. I had 2 credit cards expire since I've been here. They will ship to Thailand. Oh, great.
Okay.
After they verify a lot of my personal details. They sent the text to me, my social security number, my code words, etc. Well, that's good. Thanks for that, Daryl. So it can be done, I guess, depending on your bank, and they'll want to clarify that it is you.
Finally, one person got in with the last comment.
Richard Woolley says, how much would 10K get me in MSTY? That'll get you about 500 shares.
Yeah.
And that would give you a dividend about 650 at current price a month, US.
Yeah.
Yep. And Patrick McCoy says, Jeff, my bank allowed me to put my Thai address in my account.
Okay.
My credit card expired, and they tried to mail my new card through the Thai post office via the UPS. Big mistake. My US bank tried twice.
Okay.
I think it's just easier to get it sent to family over there. Forwarding address, and get it sent over. And yeah, it takes a little longer time, but at least, you can
pay for one of those mail services at the post office as well. There's all different ways you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're just going to say 2 goodbyes. Patrick had to send it on the 3rd try to my daughter at DHL. Got it. And Richard Woolley says, thanks, guys. Thank you all. We'll see you on Wednesday, 8 a.m. Thai time for our Thai live stream. And then on Saturday night at 8 p.m. I'll give you this one, Vanilla, but then we really have to log off.
You have to look at the candlestick chart. The market had become way too high above the 200-day moving average on the monthly chart. With the political catalyst, we're going to the 200 moving average.
Yeah.
So Vanilla Man is a he uses the chart,
the stock to flow model.
Well, it's more the technical analysis. So some people, look at valuations. Other people look, hey, where are the technicals telling me what's going to happen to the price? And there's validity in both. It takes a lot of research on that. So, he's done his. So that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all for coming on and joining us. We got to wrap it up. And if you haven't already, give us a thumbs up. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. We try and get 100 likes per live stream. So until next time, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. God bless you all.
And don't panic today, guys.
And stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yep.